Alright, we're gonna go ahead and start now. It's gonna be Siren versus Too Far Away. Siren is gonna be playing for UMBC. His opponent is from the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. MLG Shattered Temple, the Shattered Temple, is our map, and we'll see what positions they take. Of course, there are no close ground positions. They eliminated that quite a while ago. Even in the latter version of the map, this Terran versus Protoss, given that there are only two possible spawn locations for your opponent, there are a lot of builds where you can go one base to see if you can do a lot of damage from both sides. Generally, we'll see Protoss try to take a base against Terran. There's Siren going to be spawning in the bottom corner on the Shattered Temple. His opponent is going to be spawning directly opposite of him, cross map, and he is maybe too far away for a 1-1-1 build. We'll see what Siren opts to do during this match. And it looks like Siren is going to the Clown Academy. I guess he told us that he was working on his PhD thesis in clowning. I'm sure he'll get his PhD in clowning real soon. And there's a good luck from Siren and an LOL from Too Far Away. Too Far Away dropping a pylon inside of his base, which is a good sign headed towards a macro game. Siren also dropping a supply depot. We'll see where he decides to build his barracks. He's been known to do a little bit of clowning around with his barracks in the early game, especially against Zerg. We'll see if that's something he opts to do here. Too Far Away getting ready to drop his gateway. There's a gateway coming up, as well as the barracks getting started by our Terran player. We'll see what he's decided to do as soon as we see when the gas comes up, if it comes up at all. If there's no gas, it could be anything between a all-in Rax rush, and there it is, the gas coming up, so no more discussion about no gas. There's the probe-headed cross map to see exactly what's going on. Siren still no scout for him. We'll probably see it after this barracks completes. The refinery, it does allow for several different openings. We'll see if he decides to go Hellions, go for Mech in Terran versus Protoss, or if he's going to go for any sort of Banshees, or maybe even 1-1-1. First Marine is now on the way, as well as the Orbital Command. Too Far Away getting up his first probe, as well as, or not a first probe, another probe. He's making sure not to queue in any probes to make sure that he has all the money freed up to do whatever he needs to do. However, skipping a probe while chrono boosted is not a good thing. There's the Cybernetics core finishing up, and Siren, his scout, checking this close air position. First Zella is also on the way. We might see Too Far Away do a little bit of pressure with his first Zella and his first Stalker. There's a chrono boost down on the Stalker. This tells me that he's going to be doing a little bit of a push towards the front, and the Siren getting up his second barracks right now. He's got the Marauder on the way, as well as the concussive shells, and so for sure he's going to go 2 Marauder, 2 Marine, 2 SCVs, trying to do some damage up at the front. First Marauder is out on the field for Siren. He's also got a Marine guarding the front. Stalker checking the inside of his base to make sure there's nothing going on in terms of any SCVs going to be able to scout later on. There's the second assimilator up. Immediately probes begin mining it, and there's the robotics facility coming up for Too Far Away. And going for this tech early on, it could spell a little bit of trouble for Too Far Away. He's only got 1 gateway's worth of production, and the Siren is now pushing across the field. 2 Marines, 2 SCVs, 2 Marauders. And over here there's 2 Stalkers and a single Zealot. It looks like he may be able to hold this off if he micros properly, focusing down the Marauders early on in the battle. There's a Stimpack upgrade started for Siren as well. And generally during this push, we'll see Siren build a command center. We'll see if that's something he opts to do. And there's the probe coming down the ramp, and immediately he gets shot down. 3 Stalkers out in the field. Looks like Siren will be forced out of here. maybe take out a Zealot before returning home. The Stalkers are going to take some damage against those Marauders. Looks like more Marauders and Marines now arriving, and it looks like Too Far Away is going to be forced back up his ramp. He's also got an Immortal on the way, and there's additional gateways coming up, gateways 2 and 3, and Siren does scout inside of the base. He will get a good idea of what Protoss is doing. He's got his command center started as well. And now, as he retreats, taking the time to finish up his reactor and be able to pump out double Marines. There's the bunkers coming up for Siren. He wants to make sure he doesn't get busted by Immortals. Too Far Away, however, is going to go ahead and expand. He's got his Immortal for safety assurance. There's Immortals are like the anchor of your army. As long as you keep them in good use, Immortals are really good. There's a Siren throwing up his 2 bunkers. He'll get those Marines inside real soon. We also have the command center finishing up. More Marines popping out, and the Stimpack upgrade is just about finished. And we'll see if he decides to do a little bit of a push as the Stimpack finishes up. There's the factory on the way. He's going to be going for Medivacs. We'll see a swap over with a reactor as soon as the starport is finished. He's got the second refinery on the way at his natural expansion, and Protoss economically behind, but in no way out of this game. He's got his Nexus finishing up, continuing to produce probes inside of the main, making sure that he has enough to be able to transfer out to the natural expansion. He's also got additional Immortals on the way, just in case. He's gonna have 3 out on the field real soon, and I don't know if this is the correct decision to do, as he doesn't really know if there's another attack coming up real soon. And when Immortals are just sitting there, they're really expensive units, and it does cut back on your unit producing structures. So later on, you'll probably have a smaller army due to you getting a really beefy army early on in the game. There's a observer now checking out Siren's bunker formation. Siren now finishing up his starport. He's also got a reactor finishing up for that starport so that he can get a couple of medevacs out in the field, perhaps do some dropping action. We have Siren also securing the center Zelnaga watchtower, making sure he knows when Too Far Away decides to move out, and also he will be able to see the army composition of such a push out. Too Far Away getting his army into position just in case an attack comes. The factory does lift off and fly away. Looks like Siren will not be using that factory any longer. There's another tech lab finishing up for Siren, getting out more Marauders. Against Protoss is generally a pretty good thing. Medevacs popping out, and it looks like Too Far Away has 4 Immortals now. He may be deciding to move out real soon, do a little bit of Immortal pushing. He's got his gateways chrono boosted, and that tells me a big attack is on the way. We have the SCV now scooting forward to possibly see what the army composition is, and there's the SCV getting blasted to bits as soon as those Immortals come in range. And Too Far Away now marching out into the middle of the field. The Marine stims and runs away. We have the observer seeing that there are medevacs out in the field. We'll see if he still decides to push. A proxy pylon is coming up. Too Far Away may have decided to place this proxy pylon a little bit too late. Ghosts now on the way for Siren, seeing that his opponent has gone for a lot of Immortals. He's even pulled SCVs off the line just in case. The observer does see this, and looks like Too Far Away is definitely going to go for this attack as soon as this pylon does complete. The pylon now finishing, a big warp-in will come, possibly Zealots. Looks like he's going to go for Stalkers. Instead, the Zealots are being moved towards the front, and here comes the push from Too Far Away. He's now advancing with his Stalkers and Zealots leading the way, and Force Field's going down, trying to wall those bunkers off as much as possible. The Immortals smashing away those Marauders. More Force Fields going down. A lift from Siren, going to be able to back his army out of there. Looks like the Force Field's delaying that attack just a little bit. Force Field going down on the ramp, and Siren is going to be fighting to the bitter end with his SCVs as well. And here comes the SCVs towards the front. A couple of Ghosts trapped up on the ramp. EMP is definitely not ready for those guys yet. The Immortals taking quite a bit of damage. Looks like Siren's army does come up ahead. He's focusing down those Immortals as much as he can. The SCV is getting into the fray, and looks like Siren does hold this attack off and too far away, dropping to 43 food after that attack. He's not been producing probes for quite a while, and the factory is scouting all of the inside of this base. And without any splash damage units, too far away is going to be in a lot of trouble once Siren decides to push out with EMP, with more Marines and Marauders, and he's even saved all of his medevacs, so he will be able to do multi-pronged drops as well. What Too Far Away needs to do is quickly get up some kind of ranged unit, perhaps go for Templar because they're cheaper, but he already has his robotics, so you may need to go for the Colossi, but both of those take a long period of time, and Siren is definitely ready to push in the really near future. He's got his ghosts up, and Too Far Away is going to need some miracle EMPs, miracle force fields before those EMPs go off. Otherwise, his army is going to be in a lot of trouble. All of these units, the shields are so critical, and he's even clumping up his army, and that is not a good thing. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of a drop here, perhaps. Looks like Siren is going to be content to force the Protoss army to pull back and forth. He's got his third command center finished up as well. 2 gateways coming up for Too Far Away. He's going to be trying to get out those force fields, but no force fields go down. EMP on all of the Protoss army. The probes getting pulled off the line and getting completely obliterated by the Terran Ball. Looks like that one Immortal still trying to stay alive, and Siren dropping the Manor Mule. There's the Immortal continuing to try to work away Too Far Away with the GG. Siren taking it 2-0 for UMBC. We're going to be headed to Kydarian Depths for our 2v2 game between UMBC and the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. Alright, so UMBC takes game number 3 through force forfeit. As we can see, so ICEs are here, and the Massachusetts players are not here. And it's been 10 minutes, and according to the rules, that's it. So we'll see you guys next week for more Collegiate Star League games. Unfortunately, there were only 2 games this week. And I'll play him, but I'm not going to record it because I'm going to lose.